Well, I have been waiting for many, many, many months to share with you the announcement that I'm bringing right now. Tomorrow, I'm leaving early with my son Malachi. We're heading to Dallas, and I cannot wait for the Let Us Worship that's going to happen there tomorrow night. If you're in Dallas, you got to come. It's going to be historic. Starts at 6 p.m. It's going to be downtown Dallas at the Dream Center. We are going to feed 1,000 hamburgers to the community. We're going to have an incredible service, revival, baptisms, prayer, ministry. It's going to be really great. And then Saturday, we're doing the Man Up Conference, which is why I'm bringing my son, because it's fathers and sons. We're going to do a whole day together on Saturday with my good friends, Steve Weatherford, David Harris Jr. And then Sunday, I'll be in Kansas City speaking at the Cure Church. So that's kind of our itinerary. But, okay, so Friday night, Let Us Worship. Saturday, all day Man Up Conference. You got to register. So you go to manupconf.com. You can register there. All of this is free, guys. Everything we're doing is free. Really just feel led for this to be free. The gospel is free. Amen. But check this out. So today, I officially, for the first time ever, after many months, submitted my manuscript for my brand new book. And I just want to share why this is significant to me. This is not like a marketing ploy or whatever. Like, this is a big deal because, it says in Habakkuk, write it down on a tablet that a herald may run. Like, write the vision on a tablet. And in the beginning of the year, God always gives me, like, we have a season of fasting and prayer. God always gives me, I feel like, the mandate for the season. So last year it was raise up 100,000 intercessors. We did that. And of course, we finished the Kingdom to the Capital tour. This year, it was write a book on spiritual warfare. And I just want to share this quickly because, I've grown up with the understanding of spiritual warfare. As a kid in the 80s and 90s, of course, that was something we fully believed in, fully engaged with. I've held worship schools all over the world, in different parts of the world, South Africa, the UK, Germany, Australia, all across America, Canada, where we've taught and created curriculum on worship and the power of worship and prayer to unlock doors and break things open. Of course, we have our missions organization, but I really felt like God wanted to give fresh language on the concept of spiritual warfare and how it relates to the end times. And some of you guys know me. I'm a very optimistic person. Like, I'm very hopeful. I like to think of myself, Charlie Kirk and I, we would always talk about this together, about how can we be joyful warriors? How so many people, especially on the left, are angry and mean, and all the protesters that come against us and all this stuff. But how can we, as the people of God, how can we distinguish ourselves as we know God? Well, we need to be happy. We need to be perpetually optimistic. And so that was always something that I've really carried with me. And it doesn't mean that you don't go through trials. It doesn't mean you don't face storms. It doesn't mean you don't experience backlash and pushback and all kind of things, but it just means that you're carrying a joy that the world can't offer in the midst of it. And so anyway, I started writing the book at the beginning of the year, had no idea that I would literally be writing this book while I'm experiencing a year of the most intense warfare probably of my life. And I don't mean, when I say that, I don't mean, because there's, trolls online or because there's, hit articles or all this stuff. Those things have been happening nonstop. That's not even my focus. Sure, that's happening. But I'm talking about, like, within our families, and I'm talking about sickness. I'm talking about relational tension. I'm talking about stuff in ministry. I'm talking about, like, things that you never would have imagined would happen. And then, of course, we see a full-on assassination that happens of a friend of mine, of whom I texted and was talking to literally the day before. And so it's like we have witnessed in the process of writing this, and it's almost like I was able to peer into a real-time, end-time picture of spiritual warfare. And so I've just been writing. And this is a book. I just to be very clear with you, like, I've written several books before. Some of you may have read them. I don't write them to generate sales or to keep ministry going, or it's not like I'm on even a system of I need to write one every couple of years or whatever. I only write books when I feel God's given me a download. Like that's it. And I just release them. And the last one that I wrote, like Bold Teens, focused on teenagers and the next generation. Literally, I didn't look for a publisher. I didn't whatever. I just wrote it and we released it. And we've given it out to youth groups and it's created Bible studies on campuses and stuff. It's really cool how God's used it. I wrote that for my kids. This one, I feel like I'm writing for this generation. I feel like this book, and especially in the last few weeks, guys, I have invested my heart and soul into this. Like I have prayed over it and wept over it and fasted over it. And it's like, I don't think I've revised one of my books more times than I've revised this. It's like, I feel like this holy, sobering, like I got to get this right. And so I've gone over it again and over it again. And I've taken out stories and put in new ones and taken out scriptures and put in other ones and taken out stories. And I've wanted so badly for this to be the exact thing that God commissioned me to do. Like I feel the fear of the Lord on it. And so today I officially submitted it and to the publisher, and I'm so excited. I really am. I feel like this is more than a book or a ministry product or another thing on Amazon. I feel like this is the word of the Lord that he's given me and entrusted me to steward. And obviously there's several things that have to take place till it finally gets out there, but today was significant. We're releasing the manuscript. The book is actually called No Turning Back. And God gave me that title when I started spontaneously going into the hymn, captured at the Kennedy Center in the middle of Charlie's memorial. I just started singing, I have decided to follow Jesus, no turning back. And so it's called No Turning Back. And the subtitle is talking about living a life for Jesus until the last days. Like, how do we live a life full of God, full of his promises and his purposes over our lives? So that book is actually, as of today, it's up for pre-order. It's unbelievable. Amazon threw it up for us on pre-order. I think it's actually called Spiritual Warfare. If you type my name and Spiritual Warfare, it'll pop up. That's not the cover. The cover and the title and all that's just a placeholder. But we just wanted to get something up so that when I talk about it, we can actually show people, hey, you can pre-order now. It's coming out. You'll be among the first to get it. And so that's my big announcement today. I'm so excited. I've worked so hard on this. And just, I want you guys to understand as well, like all of this is unto ministry. Like this is not unto me. This is not unto even to my family. Like these resources, the music, the books, this is so we can do more ministry. And I believe this is the ministry. It's not even unto anything. Like this is the ministry, is locking myself away and writing down what the Lord has showed me. And so the book, again, it's out. I think there's a link below, or I'll put it below. You can go and pre-order it. I know it's going to be something that encourages you all. And I really hope that I get to see some of you this weekend in Dallas, starting tomorrow night. Saturday night, again, we're going to be back in Dallas at the Man Up Conference. And then Sunday we'll be in Kansas City. I also want to highlight this. I've been working together with my good friend, Rob McCoy, who's Charlie Kirk's pastor, and this entire team on hosting these really incredible nights that we're going to call Courageous Christianity. And these are going to be nights. Some of them are going to be on college campuses. Some of them are going to be in college towns. We're going to do numbers of them here in California and on the West Coast, where we're going to come together and we're going to share about courageous Christianity. And essentially, I'm going to unpack a little bit of this book, the components of spiritual warfare, the last days. How do we live as faithful witnesses? That is the tagline, living as a faithful witness until the last day. So I'm excited about that. I'll start teasing out some of that stuff in the coming days, but I just really wanted to make that announcement tonight. It's submitted, and if you have ever written a book or done anything like a massive project, like when you press send, it's like when I pressed send today and send it to the publisher, it was just like I felt relief come over me, but two, I actually felt like the pleasure of God. I felt like, okay, Lord, like I was obedient. This is what you told me to do, in between running on flights, in between different time zones, getting up in the middle of the night. Anytime I had a thought, jotting it down, like meditating on it, praying over it, repositioning it like literally the whole outline of the book. I feel like the Lord gave me, like it was very clear how we wanted to lay it out, and we go into not only just a lot of stories from this year and my life and what I've seen and experienced, but we go into like real deep theology around how do we position ourselves to be faithful in the last days. We talk about Matthew 24, 25. I have been speaking a lot about this stuff, that really the blueprint I believe that Jesus laid out for us for the last days. And then we also bring in incredible examples through revival history. We talk about obviously Reese Howells, and we talk about Wilberforce, and we talk about some of the Moravians, the Celts, some of the incredible movement, the Great Awakenings. We talk about these moves of God that were birthed in the place of prayer that really shifted the scope of culture. And I don't feel like it's a coincidence. I just want to say this last thing, that we released this book today, and today was the day where they finally came to terms with the release of the hostages in Israel, therefore ending the war in the Middle East. I feel like that war, history belongs to the intercessors. And I know people that are in the White House. We were in there, just a few months ago, worshiping, praying for the end, praying for Israel, praying for that this war would end, praying that God would use our worship, just like David came into the presence of Saul, who was disturbed in chaos and confusion and rage, that God would bring peace to that storm. And so I feel like it's significant that the day that the manuscript was due, which is today, is the day that I finished it. Praise God that I held to the deadlines, which doesn't always happen, but it did this time. But then it's also significant that this peace deal was announced at the same day. Like, I feel like it's just all prophetic. And so I want to encourage you guys, please go out there, pre-order it. It would be a blessing to us. And I just have a lot of excitement. I don't know. Again, I've said I've written books before. The last book that I wrote was Bold Teens, Brazen. Those were all books that I feel carried something. God has used them in incredible ways. But this book, I'm telling you, this book, No Turning Back, this is like, I feel like a blueprint for how we're called to live in the last days as the people of God, aware of the spiritual warfare dynamics, engaging with them, but yet keeping our eyes fixed on the author and finisher of our faith. So I pray this encourages you. I pray it blesses you. I feel an incredible amount of relief, and I will be talking about this probably a lot in the coming days, but today was big. It was historic. And I just want to thank all of you out there that have been praying for us, been praying for my family. I actually had a conversation today even with the FBI. We have been, oh man, the threats, the crazy texts, the crazy voicemails, even since, September 10th have been increasing exponentially. And I think a lot of that is just resistance and intimidation against this message. So anyway, we're moving forward. God is on the throne. He's in control. And I thank you, all of you out there around the world, for praying and lifting us up, really this whole year. And I'm praying that this book, this manuscript, will be a source of incredible encouragement to you in the days ahead. So God bless you guys. It's out, and I'm excited. You can go to Amazon once again, pre-order it. It is called No Turning Back. But actually, I think in Amazon, you have to put Sean Foyt, and you can put spiritual warfare, and it'll come up. So God bless you guys. I can't wait to see some of you this weekend. If you're in Dallas or in Kansas City, please spread